Hi Larissa,
Hi Irina,
glad to see you.
good to see you today.
Today I want to do this episode about you, with you, because I think you so interesting person and so kind soul. And I'm sure that by meeting you, people will learn a lot of things that are useful for themselves.
Perhaps, who knows, we'll see.
Okay, so let's start.
Yeah.
I wondering how and when did you get to Canada?
Oh, it's a long story. When I was a little girl, I remember one TV show called Movie Travelers Club. The Club of Travelers is a Soviet television program dedicated to the promotion of tourism and travel. The program was included in the Guinness Book of Records as the oldest Soviet television program. And once there was a program about Canada, and I thought that I would live in Canada when I grew up. And now, when I have already grown up, I already live in Canada, I can say dream, and dreams will come true.
Wow, it's interesting.
But seriously, the idea germinated in me like a seed. The first trip outside the former Soviet Union was a contract job in Poland. 3 years later, after the end of my contract, I returned to Belarus and realized I could not longer live there as before because my mentality had changed over these 3 years. And my husband and I began to think, and I remembered my childhood dreams of living in Canada. We started the immigration process, and while it was going on, I managed to complete my second postgraduate studies at Belarus Academy of Music, and I gave birth to our daughter. And after this process, we came in 2000 to Canada. Soon we received the visa and arrived in Toronto. We had no relatives, no friends here. And I didn't speak English because I learned French and I studied French in my school. It was complicated, but as you can see, we are still alive and happy.
So, what do you like about Canada?
I like that that country with a lot of opportunities for people with any profession and endless opportunities for children because it's not that corruption like in country where I came from. And you don't have to pay for education to be accepted as a student. The children can choose their own way to study, to work. They can open the growing children, of course, and other people. And that's not a lot of problem to open your own business.
What cities have you been to in Canada?
I have been in many cities, starting Mississauga, Toronto, so this is actually Toronto areas, GTA. And I was in Waterloo, I was in Niagara-on-the-Falls, Niagara-on-the-Lake. I visited Montreal, I visited Quebec, Ottawa, and I think that's pretty much.
Yeah. So, what is Canada's favorite city and why? The city have you been to?
I like Toronto much more than where I live, like where my house is. I don't know why, but I like Toronto more than other cities.
Yeah,
It's
I understand.
just yeah, it kind of resonates with my soul.
Larissa is piano instructor and music therapist, and she teaches students from 3 years old to 100. How has your profession developed here in Canada from your arrival until now?
I started to work from the 5th day when I arrived to Canada. Fortunately, I not only teach piano, I also am accompanist for instruments and for voices. And when we arrived here, it was February, and I started to look for a job. I went to music school and asked them if they can accept me as a teacher. And at that time, somebody called to the office, manager's office, and asked accompanist for some music festival. And she asked if I want to participate and help people. So that was my first experience, just a week after I came here. And since that, I started to work as an accompanist, and then I, little by little, started to teach, first in Polish and in Russian, and then my first students in English were Chinese students, and they could luckily could understand my broken English, and I was happy to have them. And so little by little I started to develop my studio, and which grown now.
Wow, it's interesting way. I like. You have been to Ukraine many times, right?
Yes, I was as a child of former Soviet Union. I traveled a lot in the Soviet Union, former Soviet Union. So I was in Russia, I was in Ukraine, I was in Belarus, I was in Georgia, and I visited many places in Europe as well. So from that point of view, I'm so lucky.
So
yes,
you're a travel girl.
Yeah, yes.
And what cities have you been to, and which one do you remember the most?
If we are talking about Ukrainian cities, so I remember I was in Kiev, I was in Zaporozhye, I was in Dnipropetrovsk, I was in Kharkiv, so many, and Simferopol and Yalta. Cities, Lviv and Kiev, they stay in my memory so fresh, like because of this culture, it's a beauty. Yeah, the spirit of the cities, it's a special feeling they evoke about saint places, a lot of churches, beautiful, absolutely amazing sound of the bells, of churches' bells, and people are very nice people, very lovely, and they looked happy that time when I was there.
Yeah, thank you. You even learn Ukrainian, right?
Yes, yeah, I started school in Ukraine, and I understand Ukrainian, and I can write, I can read, but unfortunately I lose ability to speak because it was not active language for many years in my vocabulary.
Now in Canada, you hear a lot of Ukrainian languages, Ukrainian people.
Yes, yes, of course I do, and I understand fully, like 100% what are they talking, but I can answer only in Polish because the Polish just my last second language,
Wow.
which is the sixth
Languages do you know, right?
that I know. Yes.
I just want to ask, how many languages do you know?
Yes,
You answer
yes.
6 languages.
So, yeah,
There are
Russian as a just a language in Soviet Union. That was the language which everybody speaks. Ukrainian, Belarus, Polish, French I learned in school, and now it is English.
You also mentioned that you are a music therapist?
Yes, I am music therapist certified in Canada and Ontario, and I am also registered psychotherapist in Ontario.
Please tell me what music therapy is and how it works.
Music therapy is discipline in which certified music therapists use music purposefully within therapeutic relationships to support development, health, and well-being. Music therapists use music safely and ethically to address human needs within cognitive, communicative, emotional, musical, physical, social, and spiritual domains. How it works, you know that music is a powerful tool because it engages our entire brain, shares network with speech, language, sensory motor, cognitive regions. So music can influence our feelings, can evoke forgotten feelings which related to trauma, childhood trauma. And so that's why music can help a lot of people. Especially I specialize in the Boni method of guided imagery in music. This is psychotherapy method which is using music, classical music. And I want to say that I'm unique specialist in Canada with this method. I'm pretty sure, like 100% sure, that I'm the first Russian-speaking therapist in this method in Canada. And this method is not used in other countries like former Soviet Union countries. It's unknown there yet because it's a new method. But how does it help? People, it helps to connect the conscious with unconscious. It stimulates intuition and creativity, activates your innate ability to heal and transform. From my own experience, I like this method very much. I personally like to experience it, and I like to work in this method. I work with people who speaks Ukrainian, Belarus, Polish, English, of course, Russian. So in their native languages, it's very important to know because it's very deep work with conscious and unconscious areas. So if people can benefit from that very much. And here's my patient, there's my client. Hello, my dear friend.
It's cat therapy.
It's, yeah, also cat therapy here today. Yay! Yay! Beautiful kitty. Look at the camera, Luna.
How did you come up with this?
I had a difficult time in my life, and music helped me a lot. And if not music, I'm not sure if I could be able to continue to live. But a few years later, I realized how much music helped me to go through this difficult time. And I started to look around and search for the material, and I found music therapy, which I never knew before. Even I'm a musician, but I've never heard before about music therapy. And I decided to go to university for master program, which I successfully completed, and got master music therapy degree. And I could not stop. I went further and became a registered psychotherapist, and now I'm using music in psychotherapy.
Music therapy can be suitable with any problem and issue that are bothering or just a limited set of problems?
I think there is no limit for music, and my personal opinion that music can help in any issues with human being, because music is a tool of communication, first of all, and people who has speech problem or developmental problem, music is a tool of expression of their emotions, of their thoughts. Also, music helps to improve physical skills, to build or develop physical skills, as well as academic cognitive abilities, and it's good for self-regulation and expression. Music could be used in active daily living. Also, it's used as a pain management for people who cannot use painkillers. Music is a tool for pain management. So, yeah.
Thank you. Give some advice to people who need music therapy.
Just try once, come to the session. You can choose any music therapist who you like. You can try with different approaches, because in music therapy it's very broad, very wide opportunity for any issue, and you can find your own method and your own therapist.
Yeah, you can feel it. And also I can share with people your contact, right?
Yes, of course, it would be lovely.
Yeah.
I would be happy to have, if you can share my contacts.
Yeah, sure, I will
and
do
my
it.
my website. I will provide you.
Thank you so much. And you will show us music therapy, piano playing, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Thank
Just
you.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Thank you. Let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
Larissa, thank you so much. It was amazing. I something felt inside me, guys. You should feel it too. I recommend it. I feel this therapy even when you didn't start. Like you just play. I don't know what will happen when you start like in therapy too. I understand that this music and you work with people, you try to ask maybe something. I don't know. Maybe we will try it.
Yeah, that's I choose this music just for relaxation, for maybe a little meditation. It was not therapy as a therapy. It was just some element of preparation for therapy. So yeah, I'm so glad that you did this interview with me. I look forward, and I felt very well also. It was my pleasure to play for you
Thank you
and
so
to
much.
speak with you.
Thank
And
you. And I want to ask you, what would you like to say people who come to Canada or who live in Canada? Maybe you have some advice for them.
dream and realize your dreams, and dreams come true.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.